Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai Another Road for the PSP is Atari's latest iteration in the anime fighting series, and it also has one of the longest titles in industry history. If you've had problems keeping up with the DBZ mythos, this game shouldn't pose much of a problem, since it's basically a remix of Shin Budokai for the PSP from last year. Considering the game is set in an alternate future, it's kind of ironic that the story in Another Road is all about traveling back in time. Trunks must do so in order to gain the assistance of Goku and the other heroes to help him save the world from a pink blob named Majin Buu. While it's touted as a new storyline, the plot isn't much more than a remix of past material. The heroes constantly talk about how exciting it will be to do something again in this world, and they're drawn into conflict through stereotypical means like destroyed cities, clones, and mind control. Another Road features the regular garden variety of gameplay modes, including the main story mode, arcade mode, time attack, survival, and special challenges. You can also play local two-player matches with friends, but both players need a copy of the game. Hardcore fans can also choose to use the Japanese voices for the characters, if that's what they prefer. The challenge mode is a good place to get your skills up to speed, but it can also be frustrating. There are 50 objectives, and as you play, the requirements for completing a match can be confusing if you're not already up to speed. Some of the terms are never clearly defined in either the game or the manual, leaving players stuck unless they search for help online. Story mode is a tragedy of portable game design. The object is to protect various villages by flying around a huge overworld area looking for trouble brewing. The problem is that you have to sit through minutes of story and loading screens before fighting a battle that may not even last 20 seconds. Multitasking in the overworld brings some tension, and the path splits at several points to offer alternate lines throughout the game, but there's so little variety that it ultimately serves as an obstacle between the player and the meat of the game. In a new twist, after each battle you get to choose stat bonus cards, but you have to wait for the game to load both before and after the brief card select screen. On top of that, most of the early story battles take place on the same stage, with the same character, against the same enemy, over and over until you finally progress. Thankfully, the arcade and trial modes move along at a quick enough pace to keep you involved. But it's difficult for anyone but the dedicated fan to put up with the constant loading and repetitive battles in the story option. Battles are handled a bit different here from traditional fighting games. Despite being able to fly and knock your opponents up to higher planes, the fighters don't really have a traditional jump. They also have a tendency to knock their opponents back a great distance, which puts a lot of emphasis on the follow-up. If you land an attack, sending your opponent flying off, yet fail to pursue, he can easily turn the tables due to the distance between you. In addition to physical strength, fighters also rely on their ki gauge. Ki raises as you land physical attacks, and it powers a number of abilities, including basic energy attacks, quick dodges, guard breaks, and the more explosive special moves like Kamehamehas and Spirit Bombs. The battles are fun, for a while, but it isn't too difficult to find a combo that will work against a particular character every time. The most difficult fights are with enemies that can quickly recover health, which is more of an annoyance than anything, especially when you consider that your character's health bar carries over from one fight to the next in the story mode. Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai Another Road is a decent fighter, but as a remix of the original Shin Budokai for the PSP, it doesn't really bring much new to the table. Dragon Ball fans who just want to battle it out on the go should give it a look, but everyone else will want to pass on this slowly paced, recycled brawler.